Hi guys, hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to part two of the candle range video. So today we'll be focusing mainly on the 10 a.m. candle range. The first video that I made on candle range was over a period of 3 days. Now this one is gonna be over a couple of hours just from the 10 a.m. candle open, which is like the candle that opens where the 1 hour candle opens and the new 4 hour candle opens. So we'll be basically going over the one that happened today, which is this candle here. So we with the 10 a.m. candle range, you're just gonna be looking for your overall direction. Now, from the previous video, I did state that I want to see us push higher, coming for these highs here and also this high here. And we are currently pushing for that. So I had this internal high marked out, and we had this. Those are our two external buy side liquidities before we start creating new highs. So if we now go to the 4 hour. So we're gonna be focusing mostly on these two candles here for us to determine which direction this one will go. Now it's actually the same as the first video that I made. We mark out our candle range low, we mark out your candle range high, and then this 6 a.m. candle, this is New York time by the way. This 6 a.m. candle traded lower, taking out the 2 a.m. candle low and closed back inside. So obviously with this candle, we then gonna expect a trade lower into some point of interest in this week here, and then a push higher, taking out this high. And then since we were still bullish, we're also gonna target those highs from the daily time frame. So let's scale down to the lower time frame and see what was going on in that week. So if you look at this, this is that range from that 6 a.m. from this 6 a.m. candle here. That's that range. And then we have this one where it's swept, which is this candle here. So right after that, we had a sweep. I'm gonna mark that out as on this color, yeah. So we have this range, we have this sweep, we have this trade back higher, market structure shift. Already that tells me that for the day we are definitely going to be bullish. So we swept this low, we have a rejection block here. Uh I'll make another video on that. We have a rejection block here. We tapped into it and we can started pushing. But the here was before all this price here was before New York session. That's why we didn't see any displacement, even though it had already tapped into this and also filled this fair value gaps. So if time does not align with price, then we won't see that displacement, right? So even if it taps into the a fair value gap, that's why always when we tap into a fair value gap during London session and we are trading to that same fair value gap during New York session, I always expect a tail soup because time must align with price. We must tap back into that point of interest after New York open, and then that's only when we can start seeing the displacement. So we consolidated the whole London session, and then New York Open was here. This candle here, this was New York Open. We tapped into it. Here is now New York opens and you let price play out a little bit. You let price play out, waiting for your opportunity. And if you see here, we have a nice fair value gap right here. We have this nice fair value gap right here. We also have these gaps, this gap back here, which was holding. Even though we were trading lower, we still closed back inside that gap. So it's still holding. And we also have this rejection block here. So I'm having every confirmation for me to want to be bullish just from looking at this. So you're gonna look for your range, your manipulation, and then you're gonna find your entry after the New York session though. And then this we have an SMT here. We tell also this low, we swept it, you can call it either one. And then you would have gotten your entry here, and you have your stop below that low, and you target these highs here. Or you could have also targeted this one here. But I would have probably, if I took this, I would have probably had the runners coming here because I also saw a 15-minute fair value gap here, which respected. So I'd probably be trailing my stop. We have a 15-minute fair value gap here, traded to lower, and then close back here. So that's a very clear sign that we're going to push higher from there. And then we kept pushing. We also have this reaction. And then we have this order block, which we came back to. So if you wanted to take an entry from this fair value gap, that's what you would have taken from. So we find our point of interest. Our entry points can either be an order block, a fair value gap, or an inverse, or a change instead of delivery. I use the change instead of delivery if it it aligns with a fair value gap. If there's a fair value gap somewhere here, then I know that okay, it's definitely gonna respect something like this. I use it when it's something like this. Notice how we have also this fair value gap here. Yeah, so that's the only type of CISD I use. And when I use a breakup block, it's only when it aligns with a fair value gap also. So, but when it comes to these, I just wait for a reaction and then I use those consecutive candles as an order block, or I just use an inverse. So, but coming back to uh this trade here, this is the overall trade that you would have caught today. So yeah, the now with this trade, I'd obviously be just expecting us to come for this high, but I'm not gonna be taking any positions now, um, because it's late. But the New York PM session is about to open, so if I do spot good opportunities, I might just take it. Because for the past couple of days, I have been seeing us having good opportunities during the New York AM, New York PM. We have this inverse here. You might react from that. But my only problem is that price is too high here and we just swept this liquidity here. This liquidity and this daily high. So I'm gonna have to wait. Okay, and it is a 5-minute fair value gap. So if I get a 1-minute inverse after we tap into this or a rejection block, then I can take that. But yeah, this is the candle range trade for today. And you just implement things like this in your trading, you will see a very drastic improvement in your trading. So I hope you guys learned something from this. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.